Hello, and welcome to the Enrichment Center for all the media of the world. This is Javier Smith, the very picky one, who does most of the editing and viewing of the media. This is Connor Bull, the strong brutality one, who does the beating and brutalizing of all the games and movies that are bad. These two are the enrichment critics. They enrich the movies and games that are good, and they incinerate the movies and games that are bad. So, to pull up a chair, sit back and relax, and enjoy this episode of the voices and opinion of the enrichment critics.
Oh good, there we are. Let's get started. What are you doing?
Reading about Nazis and them taking over the world. Hail the Führer, by the way. Hail the Führer. My apologies, people.
So, welcome to another video by us, the Enrichment Critics. And today, we are reviewing...
Amazing Spider-Man 2!
That was great. That was the best intro we've ever done.
Thank you.
So, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is set after the events of Amazing Spider-Man 1. And we are bringing back...
You don't say, man.
We are bringing back Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, and we are getting some new villains. The trailer looked intriguing, so basically, here's the premise of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man has a new costume. I like that he has a new costume. If you want to know why he has a new costume, there's a book about, like, between Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Amazing Spider-Man. You can read that, you'll find out why he got a new costume. Which is Gwen Stacy made it for him. And so now Spider-Man has been protecting the citizens of New York for I don't know how long, at least I think a couple to a few years. And everybody likes him. It's mixed stuff. Lots of people like him. There's some people that don't like him, like J. Jonah Jameson. And he's been saving New York, and he's been been saving New York. He's been spending time with Gwen Stacy, which throughout the movie he constantly sees Gwen Stacy's father, because if you've seen the first movie, Gwen Stacy's father, which I think is Gordon Stacy or something like that, asked Parker to make a promise to him that to leave Gwen out of his life, so that Gwen would not be in any danger if any bad guys found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And throughout this time and throughout this movie, Peter Parker is also struggling with the thing about his parents. He doesn't know why they are gone or why they are missing. He is still struggling with the fact that he doesn't know why his parents left him when they did. And he is trying to find answers all throughout the movie. And so basically throughout this movie we have a lot of Spider-Man saving, Gwen Stacy trying to get in a Gwen Stacy relationship. They do hit it off in the beginning hard, and then they go on trying to get along and get back together, and then we have a ton of new supervillains in this movie, which he will tell you, and we have him trying to find out a lot about his parents. And throughout these course of events, the stuff that happens in this movie is pretty cool.
Okay, like you said, Spider-Man, of course. Gwen Stacy. There's Max Dillon. That's his name, right?
Yeah, Max Dillon.
Which is AKA Electro. And then there's also Harry. Well, he wasn't really a villain at first.
Yeah, but he is a character throughout the movie.
The bank robber dude or whatever his name is.
Rhino, which is...
Well,
I don't know, I forgot his real name. It's not an English name.
it's a Russian name.
Yeah.
Ton you Russians robbing our stores. Aunt May, thank you. And then there's also Harry's dad. Remember at the
beginning. This movie is currently considered rotten on the thermometer, because in order for it to get fresh, it has to be 60% and above. I think it has a 53% on the thermometer. So I think it does deserve higher, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Let's talk about Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. These couples are, shall I say, just cute and adorable. They're a cute and adorable couple. I know, I must say. That throughout the movie, when you see them talking, when you see them acting, they're just like so made for each other. You're just like, oh, you see like some romance cliches. When you see these two talk to each other, it's just so cute. You just can't get enough.
They're basically like the definition of a real couple. If you look at them.
Yeah.
They're the definition of a real couple.
Yes, they are just absolutely adorable throughout the movie, throughout their relationship, throughout their struggles. They're just cute all the way. And when you see the movie, you'll see some
Like,
really nice examples.
Even when Gwen Stacy gets mad, you're just like, you're still freaking cute. I don't care if you're mad or not. Like, literally, that's how I was in the movie. I was just like,
The Spider-Man in this movie, I like this Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man series rather than the old Tobey Maguire series because he's more energetic, he's more funny, he makes better jokes than him. Like when you get into the Rhino's truck and he's like, hey, roll down the window. Hi, my name is Spider-Man. You can call me Webhead, you can call me Websinger, just don't call me late for dinner. Get it? He's just the best because he's energetic, he's funny, he's young. He acts more like a teenager his age would act today than Tobey Maguire did.
Peter Parker sees a vision, shall I say, of Gwen's dad, like, throughout the entire movie, and you're just like, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, back from the dead.
He's not back from the dead.
No, I know, but, like,
he's getting guilt. He has guilt.
Yeah, he's like, oh, wait, what am I doing? Like, I can't get Gwen into this.
Yes.
Which, later on in the movie, like, Spider-Man's telling Gwen, like, no, you can't be here, you can't be here, you can't be here, I don't want to lose you and all that. That's literally how he is during this entire movie.
Now, let's move on to, let's talk about the villains in this movie. So, the best villain in this movie was Electro, because yeah, great impersonation. So Max Dillon, as you know, he was like just somebody who was invisible. Nobody really like saw him. Nobody like really liked to talk to him. Nobody really was his friend. He didn't have many friends. He was just like a loner. He was kind of a nerd. That was the point of it. He's a huge Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
He lived in his apartment, which I don't mind because if you were saved by Spider-Man and he told you, you're my eyes and ears, I probably might act a little bit like that too. So if you've seen the trailer, you'll probably know this anyway. It's not really a spoiler. This is how he becomes Electro. Go ahead.
So it's his birthday. Like, wait, I thought this was really sad. It was his birthday on this. And so he goes to figure out what's happening with the network system.
Like electrical system, something.
And then he's like, hey dude, can I get some help on section 3 or whatever? I don't know.
34.
34?
I can't believe I remember
that. And so he goes to try and fix it, which he does. He does fix it. He connects the two things together, it seals up. He's like, okay, nothing happened. He sets it in. Boom! If the thing goes off, he gets launched into a pool of water, which just so happens, which is ironic to me, has electric eels. And then he gets electrified and he's just like, and I thought he was dead. I seriously thought, oh, that guy's dead.
That was kind of scary.
And then what I thought was funny, after he lands in the water, or after he comes out, the thing goes like, thank you for repairing it. Thank you for repairing the network system. Have a nice day. And I'm like, that's funny, yet he's not gonna have the nice rest of the day on his birthday anymore.
So after he becomes Electro, you know, he's trying to get used to this, and he like is kept to be worked on, but then he escapes without anybody trying to keep him down because nobody was there. He was just sleeping. So he gets out and he's trying to walk. He seems very weak. He's limping, and he feels this sudden lust for electrical power. Like he steals the power from the cars. So he tries to steal the power. He's trying to take power from the cars to give him energy. He just has a certain great lust for power. Then he goes to Times Square because that's where he's seeing the energy. It's like a Neo vision in the Matrix, the third Matrix movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So he's looking at all the power, the electricity, and he's going to it so he can like feed off it. And the music that plays while doing it is like really good, bad guy fusion. Yes, it's like paranoia. It just explains everything that he's feeling, and it fits his character.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, the first time I went to go see it with Javier, and I'm like, dude, even though I understood the words, which I really liked, I was like, okay, good thing I can understand the words. And so, like, what I liked about the music is that it started like, dun, 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 like really calm. You think, oh, hey, it's just a normal day. Dun, 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 dun. And then it speeds up a little. And then you're just like, and then you hear the words. You're like, oh, dude, that's what he's feeling right now. Agony, pain, grief, anger. I mean, dude, if that happened on my birthday, I would just be like, I would be happy, yet I would be like, why on my birthday? Why?
So Electro is basically the best villain out of this movie. You see how he transforms, and you see that he, and when he does transform into Electro, like later in the movie, when I'm seeing how he acts and seeing how he talks, I'm like, this is Max Dillon? Because this doesn't seem like something Max Dillon would do from before he became Electro.
Yeah.
He's like a married person who's kind of sad and is like, seems helpless, and then at the end he's just like angry, hurtful, just doesn't care. It doesn't match at all. That's what's great about it. What the world can do to someone is what the world can do to one particular person can seem amazing.
Another thing I liked about it was whenever Spider-Man first came to him, he's like, Electro is like, don't you remember me? I'm your eyes and ears. Or like, don't you remember me? You saved me. And he like explains, and then Spider-Man's like, right, you're my eyes and ears. And I'm like, I really thought that was a cool part because I didn't expect,
Spider-Man did remember him, and he did try to help. Like, Spider-Man literally tried to help him. He was like trying to talk to him, get his attention, and when you see Spider-Man talking to him, trying to get him to calm down and contain himself, it's really legit. It's really the greatest way to talk to someone. Yeah. Like I said, best Spider-Man ever.
The action in this one definitely really got me. Like the little freeze frame where like it showed him with the spider sense or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what that was, right?
Yeah, it was a scene where he electrocuted the ground and a car was flipping towards him, and a car was flipping towards Spider-Man, and he was about to do like a backflip, and the car's heading toward him. And then it's slow-mo, and you're about to see that one of his web shooters is broken. There's a car flying towards the stairway full of people, and that there's people going to touch the rail, which is going to be electrified, so they're going to be either electrocuted and die. So you see all this stuff that he has to do, and he save it, and then he does it, and it's just amazing. It's much better use of this freeze frame in slow motion because it just depicts everything that he has to save. So the action in this movie, when you see Spider-Man fighting, you see all his cool moves. It's really fun to watch the action, the fights between the villains, and particularly Electro. You see him fighting. You see the spiders on slow mo. You see Spider-Man doing all these cool tricks, and his cool maneuvers, his agility, his speed. It's just a lot of cool action. In the beginning of the movie, you see actually the events of his parents that led up to some of the stuff so that you can get some of it. And then when Peter is finding out the course of his stuff, Aunt May tells Peter a theory about how he's selling this, that his father was selling this for money. He was leaving it for the money, but Peter didn't believe it. So he tried to find out more info, and he eventually led up to this thing, which led to a secret hideout. I won't tell you where, but there's this like secret hideout, and there he finds the truth about the research that Connors and Richard did, and also with Norman Osborn, and like how all this took place. And when you find out what Richard did to like save and like to stop whatever was happening, it's really like, that's awesome.
The first time I was like, I was just like, okay, I don't understand this. But then the second the stuff or whatever it was came out, I'm like, ah. It's like one of those aha moments. Like, aha! Now I see what you were doing.
Right. So we've told you the good stuff, which is like Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker's relationship, the action, Electro as the villain, Peter Parker as Spider-Man, best Spider-Man, and also the events that lead up to Peter Parker finding out about his parents. Now we need to get to some of the like bad stuff or the stuff that could have been improved. First off on my list, when I walked out of the theater, the first thing I thought was, what a waste of Green Goblin, what a waste of Rhino for this movie. Now, if they bring them back, there'll be a different story, but for this movie, what the heck? They were in there for like, what, 3 minutes each?
Yeah, the Green Goblin was like, I counted the minutes, and I'm like, dude, you were only in this movie for about the last few minutes of the ending. They literally left Green Goblin for the ending, which I didn't mind, because I understood where they were going. But I was just like, what good is that? What good is that? And then the Rhino, you only see him for like a quarter of the ending. You're just like, wait, what? You just got the outfit and now you get your butt whooped? Hello? Waste of production.
It's a waste of Green Goblin too, because Green Goblin's like one of the villains in the comics that does the most damage to him, and then also see a lot more. And when comic book fans who like read other comics and know a lot about Spider-Man, when they know that Green Goblin is in this movie, and Gwen Stacy's in it too, they're like, oh, those two don't work. A waste of villains. I wanted to see more of the Rhino. The Rhino suit looked cool. I didn't imagine.
I really liked his suit.
Yeah, I wanted to see more action with him.
I also love the Gatling guns, like right here. He was just like.
If you bring them back, we'll forgive you for that. But if they don't,
well, we know Harry's coming back because he was only in the prison cell.
Yeah, he probably might come back. Rhino will definitely come back because he's part of the Sinister Six. So yeah, but just for this movie, we wanted to see a little more Rhino and stuff. So
there is actually a plot twist in this at the ending. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but somebody comes in at the prison cell where Harry's at. I'm not gonna name you his name because you might know him. And so he's like, "What do you want me to start with first?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I remembered, oh, now I see where you're going with this. And so I really thought that was interesting. But I just really thought this movie could have had a little bit less, like, focus on a little bit more of Harry and Electro and Rhino and all that. Instead of just kept on focusing on the Spider-Man's background and the chemistry between Gwen Stacy and him. I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all, but seriously?
That's something else you mentioned. Something else that's a bit in this movie. There's too many plot stuff in it. He has to deal with. Peter has to deal with Harry. Has to deal with his parents. He has to deal with Gwen. He has to deal with going off to college. He has to deal with the guilt that he feels being with Gwen. It's just a ton of stuff. They try to work it in as good as stuff, but it's still too much stuff for one movie.
Yeah.
There is something else. I think Peter Parker's relationship with Gwen is good, but their timing is like a bit off. Because here's what happens. In the Amazing Spider-Man 1, they like getting together, they're getting to know each other because they just met, and they start to get in a relationship, and then like Peter says at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man 1, I can't see you anymore, I can't. And Gwen's like, he made you promise, did he? And then they left together, and then at the end of it too, within like a few minutes, they get back together because Peter Parker says, I can't keep a promise that I can't make a promise that I can't keep, and I need to be with you. And in the beginning of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they break up again, and then they get back, and then in the middle of the movie, they get back together. And what I think it should have done is, in the end of Amazing Spider-Man 1, they should have broken up. They should have stayed broken up. And then they should have still stayed broken up for the first half of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then got back together at the middle/end of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That would make more sense to the climax of the Green Goblin.
Yeah, and also another thing is, like, I totally agree. Yes, I think they should have kept it the way it was at first, like them breaking up, just to add a little bit more of a plot twist and be like, oh hey, let's see how the audience likes this, and keep them breaked up. And then I knew that Gwen wasn't gonna, like, at one point in the movie, she's like, no, this is my life, this is my decision, you can't stop me. And I'm like, oh, snap.
Yeah, she is.
And I'm like, okay, I like that. She's willing to sacrifice to be with him.
Yeah.
But I understood where Peter Parker was coming from. I was just like, I understand you, yet you guys broke up in the first one, got back together in the last part of the first one,
Yeah.
and then you broke up again,
and lead it up to here.
and I'm like, what? That's the most complicated relationship I've seen in my life. It's like Romeo and Juliet, but in Spider-Man.
Romeo and Juliet's worse. That basically wraps up this review, so you have to find out which vault to put it in. 1 being the worst, and 6 being the best. We've already said to them many times what the vaults are, so I think this should go, for the sake of Spider-Man, and continuation of it, 4.
I agree. That's exactly what I was thinking for, because it had some good stuff, like the action, the romance, but
it has some stuff too, and we think it should get a I wish it would have gotten a fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but there you go, vault number 4, which is the Enrichment Vault of Good Cinema. So there we go. So that's it for this review. Next, what we'll be reviewing, he will be reviewing by himself at some point Skyfall.
007.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just love this thing.
Okay. And then we will be reviewing. I've already made my Expendables 2 review, and we will be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy next together. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you felt that this video enriched your day or got the proper enrichment rating that it deserved, press that like button and subscribe. And as always, we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.